You and this person are in such a deep state of alignment right now with this King of Swords energy. This is a connection where there may be a lot of telepathy at this particular point in time. There is connection between the two of you beyond the words that are exchanged. Times where there is silence between the two of you. This person feels your energy very strongly, and it is that sense of energetic alignment that it feels like is pulling them in closer. This is something where this person has opened their mind, they have expanded their perception as far as where things are at currently between the two of you, what the future can look like, and this is somebody that is strategizing a way to make that known to you. Like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and I like the way that I continue to get to know you on a surface level. And there is so much more about you, about myself, about us that is revealed in this kind of subtle exchange that's happening between the two of us. There may be a lot of deja vu, a lot of synchronicities that this person is experiencing, and they're kind of just sitting there in observer mode. They're taking it all in. They're not questioning it. They're not doubting it. It's like, yep, that's in keeping with this kind of connection, which is very powerful. It's very much next level. There's a lot of trust that this person has in this energetic exchange between the two of you, in your surface level interactions and your 3D interactions, but they are also focusing on that kind of higher realm. And they are looking at that as just as valid, just as relevant, and a deeply important part or component of this connection between the two of you, that helps this person to appreciate the unique bond that the two of you share that is different from what they've experienced with other lovers before. This is something that transcends the ways in which they have even been like closely intimate, with friends or family. This may be somebody who's a very intuitive person, kind of like they can sense when people that they care about are in trouble, or, people that they care about when they're going through tough times. But rather than this just being like an alarming sense of danger when it comes to you, there's also a sense of like they are able to really pick up on like the positive vibrations between the two of you, the deep, intense like magnetism between the two of you, where even when they are alone, there's like a companionship between the both of you, energetically speaking. And this is not something which it feels like is freaking them out or is off-putting in any sort of way. It's very comforting. It very much aligns with something that they never even knew was possible in romance, and yet it feels very natural to experience that with you. And so there's a sense that this person again wants to like address that in some sort of way, open up about that in some sort of way. They may just address it very directly with you, sort of like, yeah, I've been getting a lot of signs and synchronicities. Have you been seeing any of that? This is somebody that almost feels like they could tell you anything. You could have any kind of discussion with one another, and there would be some sort of understanding or space that was held in order to come to that place, like reach that place of understanding between the two of you. This person looks at you as like their confidant. They are looking forward to, establishing more of a clear or defined relationship between the two of you, because there's a sense of like, I don't want there to be any secrets between us. I don't want to hold anything back from you. There's already so much openness between the two of us in those subtle realms, and there's a lot of kind of like depth and clarity, it feels like, that has happened in the material world, more that they want to provide you with. But this is somebody that wants to go above and beyond kind of like how they ordinarily show up in connections, or what has been the case between the two of you up to this point in time, because it feels right. Like you're already so aligned with one another, energetically speaking, that it feels right to just like open up and express themselves verbally in ways that it's like maybe it takes them a while to kind of warm up to that, or ways in which they want to be very candid with you, that they usually are not with like lovers. It's almost like this person has never had like a lover and a best friend all in one person, but they see that that is kind of the direction that this connection is headed, because there is this like deep energetic bond between the two of you, all of this telepathy, all of these signs and synchronicities that are helping this person to see that your connection, at whatever stage it's at right now, has the makings of something that can be like a deep and lasting and very true experience between the two of you on many levels. We also have the Fool. Yeah, so this is somebody who's looking forward to kind of like writing the next chapter of this experience between the two of you together. This is something where this person has been showing up, it feels like, as authentically as possible with you. And the ways in which you've been doing that as well, in some days you get it right with one another, other days you kind of like stumble along in this situation. It has helped this person to, it feels like, kind of release some sort of baggage that they had been carrying of like trying to be like a perfectionist, like maybe very critical of themselves in terms of like second guessing if you really like who they are, you really like what it is that they're doing or they're saying or how they're showing up. Things that like people in their lives, friends and family, like current people in their lives or even like past lovers might have looked at certain aspects of this person, and sort of disagreed with that or didn't understand that, things that they had kind of like tucked within their shadow or they had thought were their shortcomings. And there's almost a sense of like, you seem to find these things very endearing, or they don't bother you, or it's like a tendency that they have to kind of go a certain route in terms of their interactions. They don't even go to that place when it comes to you. And so these continued interactions between the two of you, it's almost like it's helping this person to feel like, hey, I really am good at relationships, I really am good at love, I really am good at building partnership with another person, not just materially, but again, that deep sort of energetic bond between the two of you, that it feels like is coaxing this person sort of out of hiding in some sort of way, ways in which they may have been holding back a little bit, holding back aspects of their personality, or kind of being a little bit timid as far as like showing up fully, like they've been showing up authentically, but there's just like more to them than they have expressed so far. And you're bringing this person up to a place within themselves of like, I want to be witnessed by you, I want to be seen by you. I trust that the kind of the full manifestation of all that I am, this beautiful mosaic of a person that I am, flaws and virtues, all of this is going to be something, that is well received by you, or you're going to, have it within you to like have the space, have the interest, have the attention, to kind of like see things from my perspective, or, kind of like become accustomed to certain things, or even put your foot down about certain things. This person's like, they're open to kind of your suggestions, any ways in which they could show up better as like a lover, as a partner, as a friend. This is something that they're willing to do that. This is something where they're very excited about the future between the two of you. And they feel that there have been almost kind of like a series of tests, maybe that, wounds from the past had kind of presented, certainly on their end, where they were holding back a little, or they were second guessing themselves, or inner critic was giving them like a hard time. They may have had imposter syndrome with you in the early phases of this connection, but it feels like you've helped to sort of ease them beyond that. You've helped to make this person feel very comfortable, feel very comfortable in their skin, feel very comfortable as they've been showing up in this connection, like as themselves, as they've evolved as a person, through that energy of becoming increasingly more comfortable with you. All of this is something which is helping this person to kind of look towards the future and think like, yeah, we have the makings of a partnership that can be very successful. It doesn't just have to be something that ends in disappointment. It doesn't have to be the kind of thing, that leaves us both in regret. This is the type of situation, that it feels like all the signs are pointing to, and my inner instinct and, the material experiences between the two of us, all of this is pointing to, to continue to take steps forward, that this is the right decision. It's like you feel like home to this person in a way that other partnerships haven't before. And so there's the sense of like wanting to come in closer, wanting to kind of like build that sacred space with you. We also have Justice. Yeah, so this person feels like, you're like the yin to their yang, or the yang to their yin. You really balance one another out. You complement one another very well. And it's almost like the natural way in which you show up for them. It brings out that side of them as well, where when they open up to you, even when it hasn't exactly come out right in the past, and, they've kind of like needed to sort of steady themselves and kind of convince their ego to still show up, to not give up, to not take that like defeatist attitude, or assume that it's kind of like anything they had said or done, or like not said or not done, that would kind of be unraveling the connection. All of that whole process of kind of getting to where you are at this point in time, it is encouraging this person to look at this situation very optimistically, because there's a sense of like you two fit very well with one another. or you have the ability, to kind of like make these adjustments within yourselves so that, even kind of like parts of each of you that may be sort of conflicting or at odds with one another, it's like there's a space for that. And this person feels that this isn't just kind of like dreamy fantasy land possibility between the two of you, but this has the makings of like a real partnership, like something that can actually work, something that is actually in accordance with both your highest good, that won't distract you or derail you from other goals that you have in life, things that you've been working on in your lives prior to meeting one another, who you are as people. It's like, even with the differences, this person feels like you complement one another. Like, this is something where in your presence, this person recognizes, like, I'm whole all by myself, but you seem to enhance that in some sort of way. This is somebody that came into this connection with that sense of wholeness. They've worked on that within themselves. They may at one point in time have experienced like codependency, kind of like toxic relationships, trauma bonds, where, that emotional state of being, or their self-esteem or the perception of self, it was all kind of based on how others were receiving them, how others were showing up, if others were rejecting or accepting them. And so this is somebody who has done some internal work. Maybe you're aware of that, maybe you're not, but this is not somebody who comes in, with this kind of like low level of emotional maturity. They've done a lot of work behind the scenes, and this person feels like they have magnetized in you, this person that is the right fit for who they have worked so hard to become. And so this is somebody that sees that you really add a lot to the meaning and value and measure of their life at this particular point in time, because it's not defined or in some sort of way explained by the fact of like, oh hey, I magnetized this person in you, the viewer, and it's great, and it's wonderful that you like me, that you give me the time of day, that we're having all these great experiences with one another. It's like, that's just the icing on the cake, that's just the cherry on top, that's just kind of the added bonus in some sort of way. You're helping this person to really feel validated in whatever sort of path they had taken prior to meeting you, as far as like up leveling emotionally, taking responsibility for certain aspects within themselves, anything that they've done to kind of invest in their own sort of personal growth and development. It's like they're patting themselves on the back and like a job well done, that it was worth that. It was worth kind of the struggle to confront themselves. It was worth the work that it took to break out of old patterns and habits that were limiting. And it is through that kind of like diligence, that investment in themselves to kind of reach this version of who they are now, that they've been able to kind of receive you and to perceive you and to exchange with you on this deep level. So this person really values you. They value who you are as a person and everything that you kind of like bring to the table in this situation, which helps them to understand that like somewhere along the lines, even if they made mistakes in the past, they've done something right. Not just, hey, it's my lucky day, I got lucky and good for me, but like they have actually put in work in some sort of way to kind of like balance the light and shadow within themselves. And it has afforded them the opportunity to connect with a rare and unique and wonderful individual like you. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so this person is like, I would do anything to make you happy. What do you need? What do you need from me? What do you want from me? What can we do together? How can I help you? Or how can I hold space for you, while you're building your empire, while you're helping yourself, while you're standing in the fullness of like who you are in this moment. This person does not feel threatened or intimidated by your ambitiousness, your sense of self. You might have dealt with people in the past that almost like their ego was very kind of like threatened by the way in which you had maybe worked to achieve balance, or your confidence, or just kind of like the aura, the light, the energy that you radiated. That could have been for some of you like experiences with past partners, and instead of reciprocity, it was like this competitiveness. This person is totally the opposite. It's like they love to see you standing in that boldness, in that assertiveness, in that self-assuredness. This is somebody that if you've got a lot going on as far as like professional goals or personal things you're working on that has you very busy, this is somebody that's like they're taking that bird's eye perspective, and it's like, yeah, I miss you. Yeah, I want to hang out with you. Yeah, I want to talk to you, but I understand. I want to be there to, support you as you kind of lift yourself up, as you move to the next level of your life. I'll put my own sort of like feelings aside. I will wait for you to have time, wait for you to make space for me. This is somebody that is looking at like long-term potential between the two of you. Yeah, they like the immediacy of, the gratification and the special moments and the meaningful points of connection between the two of you. But this is somebody that sees this connection as like an investment in long-term happiness. And so this is somebody that's willing to put in that work day by day, bit by bit in order to get to that point where, you're both in a place where like your lives kind of line more fully with one another. Where it's kind of like the roads are open for the two of you to be able to develop more closeness with one another. Something where it's almost like they feel that the two of you can really build not just like a happily ever after romantically speaking, but they really feel like you're the kind of person that, again, they want to like write the next chapter of their life alongside you. They want to work with you or work alongside you in order to kind of like move forward in life, move forward into a deeper and more fulfilling experience of partnership and romance, or even just towards other goals. So this person may even want to like collaborate with you. They could see the two of you as like, the perfect power couple, the perfect pairing. Even if you do very different things, it's like they really value you as a support system for them, because they can just even relax in your presence. They can be themselves in your presence. And that may be something that is like a welcome relief compared to what they have to do or how they have to show up, or what just like naturally comes forth when, they're dealing with other things and other interpersonal relationships with other things they have going on in their life at this point in time. So you're a very special and exceptional person in this person's eyes. And this is somebody that definitely wants to continue to build with you towards that 10 of Pentacles, towards that happily ever after. Again, not in just kind of like dreamy fantasy land, but in a way that works for the two of you with whatever you got going on in your lives right now, or what your desires for the future look like. This person feels that all of that is very reachable. It's very achievable if you just continue to kind of like show up for one another as best as you can, every single day, and keep looking towards the future with optimism. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.